Thank everyone for coming on this chilly evening to the Cooper Planning Commission regular meeting. Has the commission had an opportunity to peruse the agenda, and if so, do you accept it as printed?
Motion. Second.
Thank you, Vern. Thank you, Corky. There's a motion made by Vern, supported by John, that we accept the agenda as printed. Discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you, Commission. The agenda passes as printed. Has the Commission had the opportunity to look at the minutes from the last meeting, the December 20th, 2023 meeting? And if so, does it meet your approval as printed?
I can make that motion. Support.
Thank you, Jim. There's a motion made by Jim, supported by Len, that we accept the minutes as printed. Discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you, Commission. The minutes pass as printed. We are going to come to the section now for citizens' comments. We're also, after that, we're going to go into a public hearing. So if you have something to say concerning the special exception use, that would be your time to speak during the public hearing. If you have something, if you'd like to broach a subject other than the special exception use, the citizens' comment section would be your time. And I would ask you please to stand, state your name and address so we can get into our records. And please direct all comments or questions to myself. All right, citizens' comment section's open. If a citizen would like to speak. Sir.
I only got 3 minutes, so I'll say something, and then I'll let you guys, and I'll ask a question at the end. In addition to our liquor store, my name is Doug Harder. I live at 5200 Amarillo, Kalamazoo, Michigan, 49004. Okay, we already have, may I speak now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
However, if it's concerning the special exception use, which is
The liquor store.
the liquor store.
Yeah.
Perhaps the public comment section might be the best time.
So there's a public hearing that will be open, and that's the time when the planning commission will take comments on the public hearing in the application.
So we can't speak about what's gonna go on with the liquor store here?
No, you will. It'll be the next section. It's just a formality.
Okay.
We gotta open up for citizens' comments on maybe some issues that are directed to the liquor store.
Okay.
And so I give people a talk, maybe somebody's dog's in somebody's yard or something like that.
Okay.
So.
It's going up.
All right, I'll wait my turn.
All right, no, feel free to speak when we open up the public hearing. We want to hear from everyone who has something to say, honestly.
So Tram 433 East Ransom. Last month I came to the Planning Commission, told you I'd try not to bring anything controversial. Fingers are crossed, sorry.
If there's no more citizens' comments, I will hear from a commission that we open up the public hearing. All right, is there a motion made by Jim, supported by Corky?
Yep.
That we go into public hearing? Okay, those in favor of going to a public hearing now, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Thank you, Commission. We are now in a public hearing. And I need to say, the correspondence we have received from the citizens have been accepted, and they will be read into the record.
Not read, just accepted will become a part of the record.
There we go. They will be part of the record. Now, once again, you guys, I would ask, we're in a public hearing now, I would ask if you stand and state your name and address for our records. And, we've really got a room full today. If you guys, let's keep it to 3 minutes, a comment to 3 minutes so everyone gets a chance to speak. And let's do it. So whoever would like to go first.
Now's your time.
I just got a few things I want to address about it being a liquor store, because I live only 2 blocks away from where this location will be, and we already got like 7 liquor stores within walking distance of each other. There's no sense to have another liquor store put there. Also, adding a liquor store will just increase the crime rate. We already have multiple break-ins. We already have mail theft. We have a lot of traffic that goes back and forth on G Avenue and Mount Olivet, and that would just create a hazard with it being there. I think there's a better use for that place than a liquor store. It also will drive down the values of our homes, which in return would have to drive down our taxes because then our values won't be as much if we get our houses assessed again. On another note, what goes hand in hand with liquor, drugs. So now you're going to bring drugs into our neighborhood too, which is we live in a quiet neighborhood. We like it that way. But if we want to go to a liquor store, we got one 3 blocks away, and we got another one at the bottom of the hill, which is within walking distance, like I said, of each other. There's no sense of having another liquor store in that area. And then we got a school that's almost across the street from it, down the street from it. And then we got the traffic of people going back and forth to work. This will create a hazard. I hope you guys hear that. Another thing is, you guys want to better our community, correct? So how can this benefit our community? And I'll end with that.
Thank you, sir.
Good job. Good job.
Good job.
The floor is open if someone else would like to speak.
Mr. Chair, Commissioners, my name is Rob Brittigan. I live at 327 Glendale Boulevard in the city of Parchment. Coincidentally, I happen to be the mayor of Parchment. However, my comments tonight are only my own. They do not necessarily reflect the opinions of any citizens or the commission. I don't believe that this proposed rezoning is in the best interest of the overall community for the following reasons. One, this is a gateway to our community, to our city of Parchment, to your township, and the proximity, and well, it's a gateway, and we don't need any unsightly, again, my opinion, unsightly businesses that would impact that gateway. Secondly is proximity. It's been mentioned before, less than a half mile from the high school, where you've got kids walking to school, less than a half mile from an existing liquor store, and you're in a residential neighborhood. Third reason, safety. You're very close to a 4-way stop. That's going to potentially create backup with traffic. That's going to create all kinds of potential problems at that 4-way stop. And then, of course, proximity to the neighborhood with all the traffic and people trying to come in and out of their driveways. Again, could create a lot of confusion. Also, it was mentioned, the gentleman mentioned before, we already have enough liquor stores in the general area. I don't think we need any other ones to improve commerce. And lastly, I think it's a slippery slope when you start spot zoning or doing these variances in an area that's already zoned for another use. So thank you, and I hope that you turn this request down. Thank you.
My friends, does someone else have want to speak?
I'll speak. My name is Federico Shane Garza. I live 2624 East G Avenue. It's basically right across the street from my house. A little bit farther back off the street, but I have to clean up a couple liquor bottles every day. Just somebody's throwing them out their car driving already. I'd like to not see those as it is. I just want everyone here that is in charge of this to actually think about it and ask if they would want a liquor store next to their house. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Hi guys, Joyce Cass. What's my address? 5566 East F. I don't live in Parchment. I grew up in Parchment, but I own 2 duplexes in Parchment. Unfortunately, I do know what it's like to have a liquor store behind my property, because Ziggy's is right behind my duplexes. And let me tell you, that brings people breaking into our properties. It brings people trashing our property, just leaving crap all over the place. Not to mention, I had a young lady renting from me who is extremely nervous about the traffic back and forth that she moved. She moved to Madawan to be safe. And we're talking about Parchment. Why can Parchment not be safe? So I'm thinking, Shane that was just up here, we sold him a property right across from where this liquor store would be. And there are 3 houses that would be right across from that. Great people, quiet people. They definitely don't need to have that kind of an issue. So hopefully while you guys are making your decisions, you'll think about that. Thank you.
On that note, I'm Michelle Kennedy and I live on 2630 East G Avenue. My house is directly across the street from that property. That would just cause a lot of chaos. I know that four-way stop, I see speeding cars go by constantly. There's, you know, people are speeding through that light all the time. There's kids that walk from school past my house every day. I am constantly collecting bottles and, you know, just all kinds of stuff. We just don't need that in our community. We have enough liquor stores around for people that want, if they want to get liquor, they can go to.
My name's Keith Lamboat. I live at 5128 Summerfield.
Sorry, can you tell me your last name again?
Lamboat.
Thank you.
And then the four-way stop sign, people don't stop at that four-way stop sign to begin with.
Nope.
And
They don't.
the kids get picked up by a bus right there on the corner on 5120 by Summerfield and Mount Olivet. And, you know, just a liquor store though just shouldn't be though. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Melanie Miles, 5251 Manana, 49004. Thank you for holding this special meeting and listening to our concerns. We do not want another liquor store near our neighborhood and near our schools. We already have too many. We have 7-Eleven on Mount Olivet, Ziggy's Party Store on Riverview, Gino's Pizza on Riverview, Sam's Party Store on Riverview. These 4 businesses that sell alcohol are all 1.5 miles or less from each other, and this new business would be the 5th alcohol establishment. This is not a benefit to our neighborhood, our schools, or to Cooper Township. Did you know that underage drinkers are more likely to purchase alcohol in a store than in a bar or restaurant? This liquor store would be very close to Parchment High School. In a study titled How Alcohol Outlets Affect Neighborhood Violence by Pacific Institute for Research and Evaluation, it was found that neighborhoods with more alcohol establishments have had more crimes, more violent crimes. Violent crimes such as assault, rape, and robbery were more prevalent in neighborhoods with more alcohol establishments than those with fewer alcohol establishments. It was also found that violence committed by youth is more common in neighborhoods that have a lot of alcohol establishments. And this association was strong even when other neighborhood characteristics such as poverty, unemployment, ethnic and racial characteristics, and the age of residents were taken into account. So the density of alcohol outlets that have also been related to other alcohol problems such as drinking and driving, higher rates of vehicle-related pedestrian injuries, and child abuse and neglect. I do not see any positive outcomes for our neighborhood if another liquor store were to be built. I do see a lot of negative outcomes, and that is very concerning to me. We've all heard the saying, if it's built, they will come. So if you build a church, worshipers will come. If you build a school, students will come. If you build a liquor store, who will come? And I'll let you fill in that blank. States and communities can regulate the number of bars, restaurants, and stores that sell alcohol in a given area. And that means that you have a positive effect on the safety, mental, and physical health of our neighborhood, schools, and the people who live here and visit here. So, thank you for listening, and I have a copy of the article that I'd like to give to you guys to look over.
That's it, thank you.
Can you give that?
My name is Sharon Corona. I live at 2539 Tanda. And on the heels of what Melanie just reported about all the statistics, we have a community that's been very on edge since COVID. We have a lot of small petty crime. We've had cars stolen, trucks stolen in our neighborhoods too. And people are pretty much on edge, a lot, in Parchment and in Cooper where we live near where they want to do this. I think this would just add to it. We see kids out, sometimes we report in Parchment at areas of 2:30 in the morning, running around, doing all kinds of things. And that is not going to only increase if they have, you know, the ability to get near anything like that, or hang out there with other people who could get it for them, go in and buy it for them, or whatever. It's just not I don't think it's a cool thing to do at all. We need to feel safe in this community. not threatened. Thank you.
My name is Kathy Richardson, and I live at 5152 Summerfield. I'm a nervous wreck here, but I wrote a little letter. I want to express my feeling for having a liquor store in what should be a residential area, not commercial. This area of Cooper Township is an area of plats, not businesses. We have North Peak, we have Roll Ridge, we have Sonneville, and our plat is Thayer, which those three, properties were part of the Thayer plat. I'm sure none of you would want a liquor store in your backyard when we have so many within a 5-minute drive. About 20 years ago, there was a citizen that wanted to put a storage unit there. And he was told no, he couldn't because it was a residential area, so I don't know when that changed. If you want to use Whistler's as a commercial area, and that's why you're making the property commercial, what you ought to know is Whistler's been there for over 50 years. They're part of our Thayer family. We as customers use them and always have. Plus their hours are Monday through Friday, 8 until 6, and they're not open on Saturdays and Sundays. So they've always, sort of conformed to what the plat is. So thank you.
My name is Bill Putnam. I live at 2722 East G Avenue, 49004. Nobody's closer to that corner than I am, because I'm set right on the corner, and I've been there 50 years. 50 years? That's a long time. The traffic doesn't get to be any less there. In the summer months, and spring, fall, and summer, the motorcycles take off in any direction. I mean, it's not just one or two. This is a daily thing that happens very frequently. These motorcycles are extremely loud, and they'll open up from G Avenue, and I can hear them all the way down to the high school. So it impacts everybody on that street. And sometimes they go the other way, and sometimes they go out towards Sprinkle Road. But it's not just the motorcycles that make this noise and make it not a pleasant place to be, to listen to that loud noise. The trucks and cars, they have what back in my day they called Hollywood mufflers. I think you guys can relate, some of you guys can relate to that. They were loud, and it still happens. And at this age, I can't relate to that too well. At an earlier age, yeah, I had Hollywood mufflers on my car. But things change, and it does disrupt the whole neighborhood, and it really, the quality of life there has been good, with the one exception, and that's the amount of traffic and noise that comes there. I have a concern also about a liquor store, and I start thinking about the amount of deliveries on semis that have to take place to one location. You got beer vendors, soft drink vendors, bread, milk, pop. How many semis does that put into your area? Just for one store. That's not counting the amount of traffic that's projected as customers. I would like to I can't guess that. Maybe somebody else could guess it, how many customers are gonna be pulling in and out of a place like that every day. It's gotta be a pretty good sized number. I wish I could think of something positive to say about this whole thing, but there isn't anything. So it's a negative thing for everybody in that whole area, because it's surrounded with liquor stores now, that whole area. There's one in every direction, at least one in every direction. What it comes down to, we just don't need another liquor store. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Mike Smoter. I live at 5187 Amarillo Street, right across from Doug, a few blocks away from the proposed development. First and foremost, I'd like to say that I have concerns about public safety without there being a dedicated police force in Cooper Township, it's being served by the Sheriff's Department. There have been issues with break-in and petty crimes in the area, and I think that this proposed development is just going to exacerbate those issues. Furthermore, it appears that one of the listed applicants in the records of the Michigan Liquor Control Commission on several occasions has sold 2 minors. So I would ask that the city attorney or whomever is responsible review the liquor license ordinance for the community, which states that no license shall be issued to, among other things, a person who has been convicted of a violation of any federal or state law concerning the manufacture, possession, sale, or of alcoholic liquor or controlled substances. So I wonder if that's been vetted and if there's perhaps a disqualification from the applicant in the first place. Furthermore, I'd like to say that our township planner has done an excellent job, and I fully support what she has stated for the incompatibility of this use with the predominantly residential area. And it's my understanding that the township originally acquired these parcels to benefit the public good. Based on everything that we've heard here tonight, I don't see how adding another liquor store at this location fulfills that need. And lastly, I'd like to say, based on the preliminary plans that were submitted, if this applicant claims that they're committed to, complying with the community and providing something that's beneficial, the preliminary plans don't even meet the zoning requirements of the community. They show stormwater detention within 50 feet of the public road right-of-way, which is in violation of the zoning standards as I interpret them. So it doesn't seem like they're, even willing to meet the basic requirements of our community. So I don't think that bodes well for their future being business in this location. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Dave Groton, 5656 Shangri-La, just down north end of Mount Olivet. I would like to ask the board one thing. Why did we send letters out to people only 300 foot away from the property? Don't we mean nothing that live a block and a half, excuse me, a block and a half away? Shouldn't we know? If it wasn't for a lot of these people here going around telling us, I'd have never knew. I don't know if we're trying to hide something or trying to get something in before people understand what's going on, but I don't think that's right. And that's just like that land. That land has laid there for years. Nothing done. Nothing done. Now all of a sudden, I don't know if Cooper Township's hurting for money or what, but now we gotta sell them. And we don't really care who we sell them to. We just want the money. Okay? Thank you.
My name is Becky Russin, and my family has owned 5133 Amarillo since 1961. So we've been there about 63 years. And my grandparents and my mom and dad built that house, and we were one of the first of the 3 houses in that plat. We used to play kick the can there and ditch them, and we've been there a long time, and we've watched a lot of families grow up there, and it's a wonderful place to live, and a lot of it is turning over now, and I'm starting to see small children come back into the neighborhood. There's like 2 houses down from our address. The house next door and the next one are vacant, and I hope that families and young children come in, because I think that betters the neighborhood, and you start seeing upgrades. And I read the packet from end to end a couple of times, and I too would like to thank the author of that document for their due diligence, and I'm not being sarcastic or flippant. It was well written, and it ends up making the citizens' point that not only do we not need a liquor store, we don't need a retail store there. Maybe housing, but the points that were in it that I appreciated hearing was the fact that it won't be a Monday through Friday daytime like the dentist's office or the church or the high school. It will be whether it's 24 hours or if it's 7 a.m. to midnight. There's going to be lighting that's not like residential lighting. There's going to be noise, the loading and unloading of semis. So it really doesn't need to be any type of commercial use. And the author of your own packet, or what was studied, made a point that in no other place along G Avenue in that area other than Whistler's, you got like 3 dentist office and a doctor's office. Retail just doesn't belong there, and it's stuck in that little spot. There's nothing else there. It's not going to expand into something that brings a lot of tax dollars into the township. Retail just doesn't belong there. And if you travel westbound on G Avenue as you're approaching Mount Olivet, at like 3:30 you'll see what the high school generates, a lot of traffic. Michelle and this gentleman and his wife, they're not going to get out of their driveway if there's a liquor store there, because it's already hard enough. You'll see 10 and 15 cars deep, and it's a 4-way stop, and then you got the people who don't know how to use a 4-way stop, and so there's major pauses. So I would suggest that not only do we definitely not need a liquor store, we don't need a commercial use. And again, I applaud the effort that somebody has put into the research and really outlined from the board that someone or some of you don't think we need it either. And I would support the idea that it be switched over to residential when this plan is.
Good job. My fellow citizens, I would like to speak.
My name is Nathan, sir. I live at 2622 East G.
Nathan, can you spell your last name?
SUHR. This place would be directly across the street from my house. It's a chore just to go and get my mail because that road is indeed so busy. And like many have said, there are a lot of little kids that walk home from school, especially in the summertime. And that's a safety issue, and it would be very ignorant to ignore that. Thank you.
The floor is open. Someone would like to speak.
My name's Matthew Van Meadowsworth. I live at 3458 Wolverine Avenue. Okay, I've been here 33 years, and I see several faces up there. I've been here longer than that. It's a neighborhood we like. Our kids grew up there, And one of the things we had is a rule for the kids when the street lights come on, you guys need to be coming home. This business they want to put in there, going to start their business up hot and heavy after 5, 6 o'clock, whatever, and it's going to keep on rolling. It's a nighttime business where our communities used to be just a bedroom community. Guys come home from work, and that's where they live. That's their homes. So we're going to disrupt that. I don't think we need to do that. Like I said, I like the neighborhood just like it is, and I'm sure a lot of other people do too, because like I said, they're still there. So anyways, that's my 2 cents.
The floor is open if someone would like to speak.
Hi, I'm Colleen Sexton. I live at 5020 Citadel, right next door to this property. And I don't want to repeat what a lot of other people have said, but property values are gonna go down with this kind of a business. I've heard a variety of things. I've heard liquor store, I've heard restaurant, I've heard small strip mall. Whatever it is, it doesn't belong there. Of course, more traffic, noise, bright lights. People have to have security. They're gonna have to have lights in the front and the back of the business. Trash in adjoining properties. My husband, when we used to do our lawn, before our lawn service, used to have to take the time to walk the whole front part of our property to get rid of the beer cans, liquor bottles, candy wrappers, whatever. And that was, a little job in itself. That's only going to increase. Then let's talk about vermin. You put a restaurant or a liquor store or any place like that, you're gonna have rats and mice. How about all you people on Wolverine? It'll be really nice having them crawl into your bedrooms at night. And then people cutting through properties to get to said business.
Exactly.
I mean, they're gonna go down our fence line. They're going to go down various other people's properties just to get to the little party store. I don't think it's needed, and I'm in total agreement on converting this to residential. Thank you.
My name is David Rodriguez. I live at 2644 McKinley Street. It's my first time being in a community meeting like this, and I waited a little bit to speak because I wanted to get some valid points, because I know there's some citizens that live around the area, and there were some things that I really didn't even take in consideration, as far as, the noise and everything. However, I wrote just a small little speech in support of an establishment there, and it's not to go against anybody or that I don't think you're incorrect, and I actually understand, everybody's made very valid, logical points, and just for a balance of thought, I'd like to give a small speech in support of a small business here. Ladies and gentlemen, residents of our vibrant community, today I stand before you an advocate for the establishment of a new local liquor store in our community. A thriving community deserves convenient access to a variety of goods and services, and a local liquor store can contribute positively to our social and economic landscape, and especially if it's maybe like a strip mall. This new establishment not only offers a diverse selection of beverages, but also brings about potential employment opportunities for our neighbors. Additionally, a local liquor store fosters community engagement, providing a space for residents to connect and socialize responsibly. I think we should embrace the idea of enhancing our neighborhood with a well-regulated and a community-oriented liquor store that contributes to an overall well-being of our community. Additionally, the introduction of a new liquor store also holds the potential to boost our community's tax revenue. By supporting this establishment, we can create a sustainable source of income that may be directed towards vital community services such as infrastructure improvements and local initiatives. Increased tax revenue can play a crucial role in enhancing public amenities such as parks and schools and safety services, ultimately contributing to an overall quality of life in our neighborhood. Embracing this opportunity will not only provide us with a more convenient shopping option, but also allow us to reinvest in the well-being and prosperity of our community through the generated tax revenue. And again, I just, I would like to, just for a balance of thought, also the pros and cons, just a well-balanced argument, or not, I want to say argument, a dispute, or what we have here is just collective thoughts, and it's good to see both sides of the coin. And I want to thank everybody for letting me talk, and also for informing me about things that I didn't realize that were around there. I think that was really nice that the gentleman here has been in the neighborhood for 50 years and had a very valid insight on the area and the community as well as others. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Yep.
My name is Judy Smith. and we live at 5361 Plato. I didn't really know this was going on. I actually found out on Facebook because we didn't get the packet. I'd really like to get the packet that she talked about and really see the whole proposal. My biggest question, I agree with everybody that says that our neighborhood doesn't need it. And G Avenue is a nightmare. That should be a regular light at that corner. I see people whipping through there, even school buses. There's no sidewalks there. There's lots of people walking, kids walking. You're gonna end up with more people walking, more traffic. But my biggest question, I've heard both a liquor store or a strip mall. If this is approved for whomever's gonna do this, if it's a strip mall, then they can decide whomever they rent to in the other spaces without a public hearing. I mean, that could even be more objectionable than a liquor store. Just saying, I don't know. But I wondered if the packet that she received, is that available to other Cooper Township citizens? Oh, you found it on the website? Oh, okay, okay, thank you. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to meet.
Thank you, ma'am.